Hello, Angie here, Angie Farlam, hypnotherapist, life coach, answer to all sorts of things, and I must apologise. Oh, must I? I feel like I want to apologise because I know I look like I've been dragged through a head backwards, and that's because I've just been for a run, and yeah, I've not had a shower or anything, but I wanted to record, to share something with you, and I can't do Facebook Live here because where I live, it's like going back to the dark ages and the Wi-Fi connection's more or less non-existent. So I thought, okay, I'll do the best that I can with what I've got. And so here I am, sat on my sofa with my iPad because my phone is not working properly either, and sharing what I wanted to share. So here goes. So yesterday I woke up and was checking emails because I can get onto email, and I'd got a message from Google saying there was a problem with my Google and somebody had tapped into my account and it was a little bit worrying. So I did the thing I do and I got in touch with my hubby in Australia and said, help! And he had wanted me to, I'd sent him an email but he hadn't received it, which worried me even more. And so he wanted me to connect to and send a message through my laptop, which I couldn't. I didn't have a strong enough signal. So I got ready quickly. I had a massage to do at 9:30, a client in Whitby, so I took myself down there early. Thought I'll go to Costa Coffee and I can link up to their Wi-Fi. And I wandered through the park on the way. I parked up where I can park free and wandered through the park, which is something I don't often do. And in Whitby there's a beautiful park called Panic Park, and it's just me and lots of squirrels, all not bothered about me, just chomping away on nuts and things and giving me the odd glance, and a few pigeons and the odd seagull giving me the eagle eye. But I felt that's a wonderful sense of peace as I wandered through the park, even though I was earlier been worrying about my Google account. And when I got to Costa, I ordered my coffee, sat down, and by then my husband had sent me a message saying he didn't think it was too much to worry about. And I got on with my day. Had a nice day. Had the one client, had my hair cut, met my gorgeous friend Jilly, and we had a natter and a walk, and then I took my daughter and my grandson out for a meal to celebrate Sarah's birthday. Beautiful day. Then I got into bed late. Oh, my grandson stayed with me, so we played a few games, played Ludo and Snakes and Ladders. I got into bed and suddenly my head started to fill up with thoughts. I was worried. First of all, I was thinking, oh, I feel so pogged, I've eaten too much, and why did I have those lovely little crunchy chocolatey bite things when we came home from the meal? I didn't need them. And so suddenly this food that I'd eaten became big, and I became bigger in my mind. I thought, I put on all this weight. So I went down a tangent of thinking around, I'm not getting my running in, I'm not getting enough exercise in, and that turned to the weather and it's the lifestyle, and I had all this story which the more I believed my story, the worse I was feeling, which led to me then I couldn't sleep because my head was full of this insecure yucky thinking, which also led to money, because I was like, oh, you know what, I know I've had a busy week this week, but what if this doesn't continue, and I've not got this money coming in, and I've not got that money coming in, and I've got all this money going out, and I built this great big mountain of worry that was hanging over my head like a massive storm. And so yeah, I struggled. I didn't sleep very well. And then this morning I really thought, I need to go for a run. A run always seems to somehow clear my head. And I sat in bed and I could hear the wind howling outside. I really don't feel like going for a run. And then I rang my hubby and we had a really good chat. Often it's just surface chat, but we really connected. I felt a deep connection with him and we talked about all sorts of things, and then I came off the phone and thought, okay, get my clothes and go for a run. And the funniest thing was when I got outside, then I thought, where did that wind go? I spoke to a neighbour and I said to them, it's so mild. And we had a bit of a chat and off I toddled and had my 4-kilometre run down to the beach and to Boggle Hole Youth Hostel. And then I wandered up the steps, which are quite steep, towards Robin Hood's Bay. And I will post some photographs. I couldn't take any this morning because I didn't take my phone, but there's some stunning photos there. But you go through at one point this like tunnel, and I call it the Boggle Tunnel. And at the other end of the Boggle Tunnel is the Boggle Bench. So I parked myself on the bench and just enjoyed the view. It was a beautiful morning. The sun, the sea was calm. The sun was shining. There was a stillness around, and in that moment I felt wonderful again. It's like the storm had passed and I felt fine. Nothing had changed on the outside. I still have the financial strife. I still have the, I still miss my poodles, my husband, my life in Australia. But I began to appreciate what's in front of my eyes right now in this moment. And it's evidence all the time about we're always living in this thought-generated world, and that we all live in a separate reality depending on those thoughts we're paying attention to at any given moment. And we can't stop those thoughts coming in, but when I realised, I didn't have to change it, it sort of reset on its own. So after a little while, I said hello to some walkers passing by, and then I walked back through the tunnel and I utilised my imagination. I thought, you know what, I'm going to hang up all these worries, all these negative thoughts or whatever on these like branches or whatever under this tunnel. And then as I reached the end of this tunnel, the sun was shining down, and I imagined that the sun was just filling my body and my mind and my soul, everything, with this wonderful abundance and loving energy. And then it occurred to me that, oh, but what if I walk through the tunnel and I collect all this stuff again? And I thought, okay, let's just imagine that when I hang all these thoughts, worrying thoughts, onto these branches, that they just disappear into the ether. And that space is filled with loving energy. So that every time I go through that tunnel, anybody goes through that tunnel, they get filled with the same loving energy. And it felt good. So then I toddled off and I did something I don't normally do. I broke a pattern. And that I always run there and back, like 20 kilometres, even a marathon. I wouldn't dream of stopping for a coffee along the way, but that's what I did. I took a £5 note with me and I stopped at Boggle Youth Hostel and had a coffee and met this wonderful girl who was also a therapist, and we had a nice connection. And then I jogged all the way back up the hill, which is a 4-kilometre run. And I wanted to share with you because that's what I do, It's like, when I see something for myself, I can't make you see what I see, but I want to direct you. It's just showing you that no matter what's going on, that in this moment it's okay. And a lot of the things that we're thinking, we're either conjuring up from the past, what has happened in the past. But even that's not true, because to make up a memory, what we do is when something happens, we distort information, we delete information, we generalise information to make up what's a map of the world. We can't remember every single thing, otherwise we'd go crazy. So we just have a version. And then through that we think and create what we think is our reality, and then we start conjuring up a fantasy about the future. And that is a fantasy, because none of us knows what the future holds. We don't even know what the next moment holds. But we try and control and we try and plan, and it's we don't know. All we have is this moment in time. And in this moment in time, all is good. And it all depends on the glasses I'm looking through at any given moment as to how I see that moment. I woke up this morning and I had the glasses of doom on. And well, even last night when I went to bed, I just hadn't changed the glasses. It was like a big storm cloud hanging over me, and all I could see was problem after problem after problem. And it seemed the same this morning, but while I was talking to my husband, something lifted. I don't know whether it was something he said, it was something that something shifted. It was like the storm clouds were moving, and it wasn't to do with him or the conversation, it just was. And I started to wear a different pair of glasses. I was looking through a different lens, and it was more of a lens of appreciation. And so yeah, I miss lots of things about my home, but I'm having a different experience, which is equally good in a different way. You know, I'm living next door to my grandchildren. I'm living in this wonderful part of the world. I love to say I live at Boggle Hole, but it's beautiful. It's steeped in history. It's in the middle of nowhere, but it's not really. It's not really. You know, we've got the Youth Hostel down the road. We've got Robin Hood's Bay around the corner. We've got Whitby down the road. All absolutely amazing, fabulous places where lots and lots of people love to visit. And so, why am I telling you all this? I think I got an idea while I was running back, is that, yeah, I want to share. I really, really want to share what I understand and what I know to more people. And so I'd like to offer my service or my time. Either online, we could have a group going, but I'm also thinking of here, because of the lack of being able to get the access to online things, is to maybe have a group going in person. So if there's anybody listening to my recording now who lives, you know, Filingthorpe, Bogglehole, Robin Hood's Bay, Whitby, all these areas around, if you've got space where we could hold a regular get-together and share our experiences, and for me to be able to guide you to maybe update your reality of how you see the world, then I'd love to do that, you know? Yeah, I'm missing being connected to a group that I was always part of in Australia, where we used to share all sorts of insights and realizations. And I can do it online. I've got some wonderful connections online, but I'd like this to be a local thing as well. Something for Bogglehole, for Robin Hood's Bay, for Whitby, for this area that is maybe not as the options that people in Australia or other parts of the world have got with a high-speed internet connection. So, yeah, I have waffled on a bit, but hopefully you've got some insights and realisation yourself from the fact that we're always living in this thought-generated reality, depending on the thoughts we're paying attention to at any given moment. And we can't stop those thoughts coming in, you know, but when we realise, and you know what? The realisation is how we feel. Our feeling isn't telling us about the actual event. It's not telling me about my financial situation or the fact that I'm missing my husband or my poodles. It's not telling me any of that. That's what I'm making up. I feel something, and then I add a lot of becauses. It's because this, it's because that. But if it was because of all that, then I'd be feeling bad now. And I'm not. I'm feeling fine right now. So it's got to be the thoughts. So right now I'm looking forward to having a shower, looking a little bit more human. I don't know. You know, we have this image that we like to portray to the world, but even that is not who we are. You know, I call myself Angela, but that's not who I am. Who I am is much more. Who I am is more resilient than I ever realised. And that's not just me, that's you too. Because we all are the same. We all come from the same, and we all have the same opportunities within us. So yeah, if you're listening, if you're local, if you've got a space, could be just a lounge space, and you'd like to start getting friends together and let's continue this conversation, let's do it. Just send me a message. And even if you're not local and you'd like to set up a group and be part of a group, and you'd be interested in doing that, then send me a message. We could have an online group and an in-person group. Let's just do it. Help me form these groups, and let's just share this understanding to the world. I'm going to go and get that shower and shut up now. All right then, so it's Angela Farlam, life coach, hypnotherapist, clarity coach and transformational coach, or, you know, mum, daughter, sister. I'm all those things and much more, and so are you. And that's it for now. Bye.